Back at the bus, back at it again with another episode review of Cross Season 2, Episode 5. I feel like we're reaching a crossroads, no pun intended, with Aldis Hodge. This will be a successful second season from the looks of it. How has his acting been, especially in the second season? And do we feel like it's ready for the next step, a leading role in something maybe even more major than this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think, not to bring it down at all. I think it's been satisfactory. I liked the complexity of the story a lot more last season. But if we're just talking about acting ability, he hasn't missed a beat. So yeah, I definitely think he's ready for a leading role on the silver screen. It just, the right opportunity has to present itself. It seems like, at least from my perspective and everything that I have seen him in movie wise, it seems like he's very particular on the makeup of his character, the moral fiber of his character, which is something we can't necessarily say about every actor out here. So,
facts.
Commendable. Probably cost him some roles along the way.
Sure.
Hopefully, this show helps him get back into that position. No.
I just wanted to at least commend that part of what we've been seeing so far. And of course, we've been saying the writing and all that has been good as well. So, shout out to that. All right, in episode 5, I want to talk about this so bad because it must be said. Homegirl, his ex, has got to leave that little girl alone.
She is bugging.
She got to leave her alone.
How many different ways do we need to address this? Your new Playboy friend says something about it. Alex says something about it. It took the little girl to hit you with the shocked face, as if you did. It was so that really made me mad.
Yes.
Because why did she have to say that to you for it to make sense to you? You're sitting over here playing like nothing has changed. Mm-hmm. You were introduced as her father's girlfriend. She thinks you're still her father's girlfriend. Why would she think anything else? She's a child.
You've been here even more than you were before.
Same time, you making it about her. And it's not about her, which is unfair as hell. Mm-hmm. You talking about you still here because you supporting her. Well, then how about you take her to your house when she want to hang out? How about y'all do things outside of the home? You're playing the hell out of crazy while you sitting up here our relationship doesn't change. The fuck it doesn't. You were her father's girlfriend. Yep. Not wife, not stepmom, no. You were a girlfriend. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't give you an intrinsic connection to his daughter. And even if you felt like there was a connection there, you would still have to respect his and her wishes on whether or not that relationship could continue. And you can only get that determination by telling her. You all in this man's house babysitting his kids. You don't think that maybe you should tell them what the situation is?
Yeah, overnight visits.
She got to see your man, your boy toy, your planner to figure it out. Like, no, I don't want to be that type of family. I got you too, Janie. I don't want to be that type of family either.
Yeah, how long were you and Cross even together for you to not be able to detach from his kids?
Now, I thought that there was going to be a moment of realization when Cross called her out for using his dead wife's memory as a reason why she should still be there in them kids' faces. But clearly not.
No.
Definitely crazy. Crazy.
The biggest thing from Bobby Trey as a secret agent trying to find all this information is that supposedly that video that we saw in last episode was a deepfake, so that wasn't really her supposedly.
Like I said, I think the storytelling last year and last season was a lot more intricate. It was a lot more detailed. This seems like a little bit of plot armor. Like, why did we even posture like she was doing it? I just don't feel like the deepfake aspect of this made it smarter necessarily. It certainly fits with what's going on right now with AI and stuff like that. It felt like it dumbed down the narrative a bit.
It elongated the story for it to fit in the season.
It was like, well, either she's the player or not. Like, either she's being set up or not. Mm-hmm. And so for them to faint like she's not being set up and she's part of the conspiracy or whatever, maybe if you were going to do that, that should have lasted a couple of episodes.
Sure.
coming back within the first 10 minutes of the very next episode and disavowing it, saying it was a deep fake to protect the character's morality or whatever. I didn't care for that because I felt like you're jerking us around. You're like, why did you even show us that if she's not involved?
Yeah, and then I also didn't like that she supposedly had all this shit on her boss and decided, yep, now's the time to use it.
Now's the time to use it. Like, bruh, what?
So
he told you couldn't use FBI resources in the beginning. You said, okay, boss, I got it. Whatever you say, boss, it's all good.
And then you went and got Bobby Trey out of prison.
And now all of a sudden, now it's time to play the red button. Hey, Michaela, you could have avoided telling Alex, bailing out Bobby Trey, and doing any of this if you would have just used that information that you had to get him to make you, use that analyst.
Yeah, I mean, like, my whole thing is, so Bobby Trey can have a team full of Asian hackers, and you can't find anybody but this one guy in the FBI. But you found Bobby Trey to do your job here. It's a lot.
Bobby Trey plays in criminality. Michaela doesn't.
Kayla, as a FBI agent, found Bobby Trey, but can't also find a hacker outside
she didn't find him. He was in jail.
I meant she can come across Bobby Trey, but can't come across
Bobby Trey because Alex Cross shot that ass.
Yes, but you're telling me in her line of working as a FBI agent, she couldn't have come across
any. Not if she clean, and they're trying to present her as a straight lace. So,
but she broke him out of prison.
She didn't break him out. She just got him out.
Yeah, sure.
She's American intelligence. They got that pull.
She not, and then she's doing whatever the fuck. So she ain't that clean.
Yeah, I don't really know where this is leading with Michaela, other than the fact that something in it is going to split up. I believe it. Something in it is going to split up her and Alex.
It has to.
It literally does.
It has to.
Got to. So whether it's going to be her role in whatever this is, whatever this mind control situation is, or even how she may react to it, however she has to get out of it, may change her in some way, or it may compromise her in some way to the point where she doesn't want to continue with Alex. Mm-hmm. Come rain, come shine, come hell or high water, it needs to end though.
Yes.
It needs to go on somewhere.
Sure. Is Cross dumb for trusting homegirl?
Trusting who? Loose? No, I think Cross is good at reading people, and he knew that she was on the verge of flipping. It was homeboy. It was Donnie.
Yeah.
Who didn't want that to happen? Who didn't want her to work with the police and interrupt it? Now, my question is, going forward, does he realize that, or does he take the route that I'm sure Michaela is going to say and say, "Oh, you were wrong. See, they were setting you up." Yada yada yada.
Yep.
I think Cross will more than likely be like, I don't know if she ordered that. Like, I don't think that they were on the same page on it.
Yeah, White Boy said something right before he was about to kill him or something.
He said something like, I'm not going to let her do this, or it's not going to...
I was going to say, so like,
he pretty much confirmed it, like, no, he wasn't sent by her.
Yeah.
Which,
he said something along the lines of, like, it's going to happen anyway. Yeah, then that, obviously all that leads to Bobby Trey coming to save Cross on behalf of Kayla, which...
Michaela thinks you need to be alive.
I do feel like at some level Cross is being a little too trusting. But like you said, he did read it pretty spot on.
Yeah. The blood splatter.
Yeah.
So there was a second blood splatter on one side of the kitchen, but no connecting blood trail from one to another. They assumed that it came from one person, that there was only one victim.
But then there was another shot, and that bullet must have
been in the person. Whoever that second person.
That's the only thing that we got from that?
Pretty much.
Okay.
That there was somebody else who was shot in the house that night.
Yeah.
And can tell us what happened.
Yeah. Okay. I remember that. I was trying to think if there was anything else that we got from that situation. So, is there anything else or anybody else I'm forgetting? The billionaire, maybe? I know we got some stuff from that.
Yeah, you can see his entire posture changing. Because now the bullshit's gone. The whole, I'm a well-meaning philanthropist trying to save the world. No, nigga, you're a billionaire who uses cheap, free, illegal labor.
Yes.
And, people have real reasons to want you dead. And you could have told us that in the beginning, And maybe the shit could have been sewn up a lot quicker and we wouldn't be looking into your shit after. But now, finally, that Alex isn't acting like a tool of the establishment and his eyes are actually open. Mm-hmm. He sees what's really going on.
And that's what leads him to
the message with Luce. Yeah. I just hope that what happened in this episode doesn't, push him off of that trail. And then also, he probably is going to have to start looking over his shoulder at Homeboy now because, well, I did the very obvious thing and told him that I was going to be coming for him after I find old girl.
Yeah.
So,
not for nothing, I also didn't care about the white guy's backstory as to why he's doing all this. The burning the...
Who, Donnie?
Yeah, burning the
I figured it would come up at some point. I wasn't actively looking for it, but,
Not that I wasn't looking for it. I also don't know that I feel that much for him after finding out that that's what it was. I was kind of hoping it would be something that would actually tie me to the character, but it wasn't.
I mean, it sticks with the same kind of concept that they've been working already with Luce and with Lincoln, right? The idea that like there are powerful people taking advantage of people who can't fight back, and terrible things happen as a result of it. Mm-hmm. And it's all kind of in the same line. The only difference for him is that he doesn't have the same ethnicity, doesn't have the same race of the people you would typically think it was happening to.
Sure.
And so that's what kind of.
And I guess that is how it ties in. Is he is somewhat still. He was somebody who was also in poverty, but obviously is still, in this case, white.
Yep.
But still was affected by the things that billionaires do.
Yep.
So I get that. It just still didn't resonate in a liking of the character somewhat. Like I kind of feel it for Luce, but I don't.
From the story, he told you it shouldn't make you like him.
Sure.
Make you like him.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's the disconnect. But all right. Is there anything else from episode 5?
I think that's it, man. Go ahead, give us a like, share, subscribe. Make sure you come back next week for episode 6 of season 2, Cross. We will be doing the entire season here, so lock in with us, and we'll be back with another one.
Absolutely. Make sure you check out our playlist full of episode reviews from season 1 and season 2 so far. And then, like you said, make sure you check us out. We like to do this every Monday at 10 o'clock.